Welcome to NAS 100 Veda. We are witnessing the edge of the known world, where the greatest military force ever assembled has ground to a halt. Elite warriors have dropped their weapons in the dirt, staring at a horizon that offers them no way forward. Sita, the wife of Lord Rama, has been missing for weeks. This massive southern search party has scoured every forest, cave, and coastline, yet they have failed to find a single trace. Their king, Sugriva, gave them 30 days to succeed, and that deadline expired this morning. Standing between them and the kingdom of Lanka is 800 miles of open ocean. In the ancient measurements of the text, this is 100 yojanas. There are no boats at the shoreline and no bridge across the waves. The warriors have begun calculating their own physical limits. The strongest among them can jump 10 or 20 yojanas. Prince Angada believes he has the power to reach the far shore, but admits he lacks the stamina to make the return journey. Without a way to bring news back, the attempt is useless. This army was prepared for a battlefield, but they have collapsed under the weight of a physical impossibility. Hope has drained away so completely that some warriors are discussing ending their lives rather than returning home in shame. Jambavan, the ancient bear king, steps forward to assess the damage. He bypasses the commanders and the distraught soldiers, moving quietly through the camp to observe the men who have given up. He notices one figure sitting in silence, removed from the group. It is Hanuman. Despite being blessed by 11 different divine entities, the warrior is doing absolutely nothing to solve the crisis. The most capable weapon in the army is present, yet he remains completely inactive. To the rest of the search party, his silence is a mystery. To Jambavan, it is a problem he has been waiting millions of years to solve. Hanuman is suffering from an ancient, literal curse that has completely erased the memory of his own incredible true identity. He genuinely does not know what he is capable of achieving. The Uttara Kanda records that as a child, Hanuman possessed the raw, unchecked energy of his father, Vayu, the god of the wind. He was a force of nature with no understanding of his own limits. One single morning, a hungry child Hanuman looked into the sky and mistook the blazing sun for a piece of fruit. He leapt from the earth, flying through the atmosphere at a speed that alarmed the heavens. To stop him, Indra struck Hanuman's jaw with the Vajra, sending the child plummeting. Furious, the wind god Vayu pulled all the air out of the world in retaliation, leaving every living creature in the universe to suffocate. The gods eventually restored peace and granted Hanuman incredible boons, but the sages were terrified of what an unchecked, playful child with such power might accidentally do to the world. They placed a binding condition on him. Hanuman would forget the extent of his powers until someone specifically reminded him. His current paralysis is a literal, supernatural barrier that requires an outside observer to break. Jambavan is the only being present who can break this seal. Born from Brahma's yan at the dawn of creation, he has lived long enough to remember Hanuman's childhood and the specific terms of the curse. He sits down next to Hanuman and begins to speak, telling him his own origin story. He recounts the leap toward the sun, the strike of the Vajra, and the blessings of the gods. He tells Hanuman that the speed of the wind is in his blood. He reminds him that while he has forgotten himself, the universe still remembers exactly what he was built to do. This quiet conversation is the catalyst for everything that follows. Jambavan uses his ancient memory to identify the specific potential buried inside a silent warrior, providing the one thing the army needs more than a weapon: recognition. As the words take hold, Hanuman's body begins to physically expand. His dormant powers rush back like a reignited fire, and he rises to his full height, described as being like a massive mountain. The despair of the army vanishes instantly as Hanuman climbs to the peak of Mount Mahendragiri. He salutes the gods of the wind and the sun, preparing for a crossing that was considered impossible just moments ago. He presses his feet into the mountain with such force that the stone buckles and the earth shakes. With a roar of rediscovered power, he leaps, clearing 800 miles of open ocean in a single massive bound. This single action successfully bridges the gap between the two lands. It officially begins the Sundara Kanda and restores the search mission to its path. Without Jambavan's intervention, the search party stays on the beach. There is no discovery of Sita, no march on Lanka, and no victory over Ravana. The entire epic depended on one person remembering another. We often find ourselves in Hanuman's position, paralyzed at the edge of a challenge that feels too large for our current strength, unaware that the solution is already inside us. Jambavan's role was to hold up a mirror. He provided the precise, personal recognition needed to unlock a dormant potential. This is the rarest gift one person can give another, the ability to see the truth in them before they can see it themselves. But Hanuman is just a scout. The search party is still stuck on the shore, and moving an entire army across that ocean requires a different kind of brilliance. In our next episode, we see Jambavan as the military architect of the Lanka War.